The tarmac at Ben Gurion Airport was awash with tears and embraces as 4 young Israeli women, their faces etched with years of captivity, stepped off the plane from Gaza. They were home, finally free after years held hostage by Hamas. The joy of their return, however, was tempered by a somber recognition. This exchange, this glimmer of hope, came at a heavy price. 200 Palestinian prisoners, some having spent decades behind bars, were released to their families in Gaza. This was the second such exchange in recent months, a testament to the fragile ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas. The scene was one of stark contrasts. On one side, the elation of families reunited, their relief palpable. On the other, the quiet dignity of the Palestinian prisoners returning home, their faces reflecting years of confinement, their futures uncertain. For both sides, the exchange marked the end of a painful chapter, but for many the scars of conflict remained. The road to this point had been long and arduous, paved with loss and mistrust. The details of the exchange were stark: 200 Palestinian prisoners for 4 Israeli soldiers. The names of the soldiers, Yael, Noah, Avital, and Shir, had become etched in the national consciousness, their faces plastered on billboards and posters, symbols of the human cost of the ongoing conflict. Their release was met with jubilation, a moment of collective relief for a nation weary of war, but the joy was intertwined with the sobering reality that their freedom came at a price. 200 Palestinian families, their lives also touched by conflict, awaited the return of their loved ones. Some of these prisoners had been incarcerated for years, their sentences ranging from charges related to their involvement in attacks against Israelis to accusations of political dissent. Their release, while a cause for celebration in Gaza, was not without controversy. Some in Israel questioned the wisdom of releasing individuals they deemed terrorists, arguing that it would only embolden Hamas and lead to further violence. The prisoner exchange was not an isolated event. It was a crucial component of a fragile ceasefire agreement painstakingly negotiated between Israel and Hamas after months of devastating conflict. The ceasefire, brokered by Egypt, aimed to bring a halt to the cycle of violence that had claimed the lives of countless civilians on both sides. The agreement included provisions for the phased release of prisoners, a gradual easing of the blockade on Gaza, and the resumption of talks aimed at addressing the underlying issues fueling the conflict. The ceasefire was a testament to the exhaustion and desperation felt by both sides. It represented a recognition that a military solution was unattainable, and that dialogue, however difficult, was the only path forward. But the agreement was fraught with challenges. Mistrust ran deep, and the scars of past betrayals were slow to heal. The ceasefire was a fragile truce, a glimmer of hope in a region accustomed to darkness. Section 4. Tears of joy, tears of loss, families reunited and divided. The human cost of the conflict was etched on the faces of those gathered at the border crossings. In Israel, families wept as they embraced their daughters, sisters, and friends, their joy tinged with the memory of the years lost. The released soldiers spoke of their ordeal with a mixture of resilience and trauma, their words a stark reminder of the human toll exacted by war. In Gaza, families celebrated the return of their sons, brothers, and fathers. Some had spent decades behind bars, their youth stolen by conflict. The reunions were joyous, but they were also bittersweet. Years of separation had taken their toll, and many families struggled to bridge the gulf that time and trauma had created. For some, the joy of reunion was overshadowed by the absence of loved ones lost in the conflict, their memories a constant reminder of the enduring pain of war.